Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Diamco, integrative physician, pediatrician, and cranial osteopath, and also host for the Healing Through Art Summit. We are ringing it in with a talk with my friend and mystic, Maudy Fowler. She is an award-winning author. She's an inspirational speaker. And we're going to talk more about how to bring serenity into your life. And this was my inspiration for the Healing Through Art Summit, because your number one job right now is to see your light and to feel, hear, see your own voice, because in doing so, you're going to be able to learn to trust it and express that unique voice into the world, because the world needs that more now than ever. So we are going to talk to Maudy about the Serenity Prayer and help unpackage that, exactly what that means, to help bring you more calm and peace in your life. So welcome, Maudy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Dr. Arlene. I was so much looking forward to have this chat with the people at home. So thank you for having me.
And, so much of my perspective in terms of a multidimensional approach to healing is like mind, body, spirit. And part of like bringing art into our everyday lives, for me, is a way to access that spirit. And so that is really your voice. And I don't know if everyone is familiar with the Serenity Prayer, but I'm going to put it up on the screen here.
There you go. So here we go to you all at home. And I love talking to Dr. Arlene to help you understand the Serenity Prayer. It's a beautiful prayer. Many of you at home know this. So I'm going to go over this with you. The Serenity Prayer goes as follows. God grant us the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, what this means, we are going to talk about it with Dr. Arlene, but did you all know at home that this is your past, your present, and your future? So your past, your present, and your future. So that means that this prayer is immediately connected to God, to those who are in heaven, and it's all about faith. So, Dr. Arlene, we actually talked about it, and we addressed things, and we thought, yes, the people need to know. So, what do you experience in your world of where people are now trying to embrace, if it's even possible for many, calmness and peace?
Yeah, what I'm seeing in a lot of people that come see me, my patients or friends and family, is that there is just so much confusion and static in everyone's energy fields. They're taking in so much of the weight of the world because the emotions are very intense right now. And on top of that, there's very confusing emotions within us that can feel conflicting, because on the one hand, we can be thankful for what we have, but on the other hand, we can still be having a hard time. So a lot of times, those can feel like they're conflicting, and it creates like this wobble within people. Like you can feel like this literally buzz and nervous tension within them. Sometimes people are feeling dizzy or have headaches or just lightheaded, or just feeling that nervous energy. And so for me, part of what I tell people is, can you love yourself no matter what? No matter what you're experiencing, no matter what is going on around you, and no matter what you're feeling. Because there's this paradox with the human experience that we can have multiple emotions all at once. It reminds me of that movie Inside Out, where it was a cartoon, but the girl in there, that was part of the confusion, that she had mixed emotions. She had moved and she missed her friends, but right. There was excitement, there was fear, there was a love for her family. So there were a lot of mixed emotions.
Yes, and see, so many things are brought to our attention, and then many people who I navigate and assist is, how do I handle that? Usually I tell people, it's not what happens to all of us in life, it's how we handle it, how can we embrace it. And often life is living us, and it goes 180 miles per hour. Going back to the serenity prayer, God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change. That, for you all tuning in, is your past. You can't change the past. You are also not here to change people. We are here to help and navigate the people who are put on our path. So for that, we cannot change or fix people. We can present them with choices. In my world, our world, because it's heaven and me, we are here to present people with choices. This is what happens when you do, and this is what happens when you don't. So back to the serenity prayer, that is the part that, the past we cannot change, or people, leaving them choices. Then we go over the courage to change the things that we can. That is actually immediately courage connected to yourself. Like Dr. Arlene, you explained that we have to love ourselves first. That's actually exactly precisely where we have to start, is ourselves. We have to be happy ourselves first. Otherwise, how can we be here for others? We have to find a way to put that oxygen mask on ourselves first before we apply it to others. Reason being, otherwise we are unhappy and all the other emotions will come into play. And that's where it starts, where life is living us. So it's in fact, it's actually everything that comes with it, that negative, positive. We have to find the courage to recognize the things that work against us. And that is actually where God immediately sees you use the courage first, open up that door first, and then heaven, God will open up so many doors for you. That is the big miracle. But you have to start yourself. Taking it further to the last line, the wisdom to know the difference. Often you hear me say in presentations or when I stand in front of people in the audience, often you hear me say that the wisdom to know the difference is when you are so much in tuned to what you learn to recognize. It's not in life. We have to see that it's not in what you look at that matters, but when you learn to see. It's not in what you hear that matters, but when you learn to listen. That adds up to the wisdom to see the difference. Then you can recognize the people in front of you, next to you, and whatever choice you're going to make, to be a step ahead. As being a step ahead is protecting yourself from the negative energy that they might carry with them, the luggage that they might carry with them, and what they can project upon to you. So you think it's clear enough to explain that to the people who are tuning in now, Dr. Aline?
Um, so, when I think about like that happiness that you said, to me, I see it more like an everlasting joy because sometimes there is still grief and sadness, and that's okay. So it's not about like trying to push that out, but to embrace all of you. So you have this more deep and more profound, like everlasting joy. And what you said, in the last part of the Serenity Prayer, the wisdom to know the difference. So that's what I do every morning in my morning intention, my morning in meditation, is to just sit and feel and listen to whatever is needed of me for that moment, for the day. And so to tease apart, where because you can't change everything. You can't. It's impossible. But that's the wisdom. Is like, but where can I make the most change and where am I most needed. So it's a lot right now, and it does take a lot of courage because everything around us is kind of is trying to dampen our light, and it takes courage to be able to see it and to still listen and hear and feel your own voice, to trust it, to trust that inner guidance and still go forth in the world in love, choosing love instead of destruction and all this hate that we see right now.
Exactly. And to jump in on that thought process there. And so, for you all who are tuning in, it's we all go through our hiccups in life. Questions arise, Maudy, but how do you handle when you deal with so many losses or so many events? And the list goes on. See, in my world, to let you all know, and Dr. Arlene, you know this, I'm a hardship reliever. I'm helping the people to change their luggage into backpacks. How we're going to do that is back to what you just said. Get that love, that self-love there. And yes, you know, it's so many things are happening to us. So many things we are facing and embracing, and the challenges for us to recognize how we handle that when there is mourning and grieving, dealing with losses, uh, for whatever reason, accident, COVID related, the list goes on, all those events that happen to you with when you deal with your losses. What you hear me say is go through your mourning and grieving. Go and deal with that and give yourself time. Do not let people take that time away from you by pushing you. You make sure that you will be able to have that time. Prayers, faith, love for you. When that happens, you go through your mourning and grieving. The only thing you also hear me say is don't let it control you. Stay
Mhm.
in control. See how much time you give yourself. Cry, scream, yell, deal with it in your own way, but do not let people push you to get over it, because that is a line that you need to ignore. You need to find a way how to find peace. I We all go through things. For me, it is how do I embrace it? Well, you often hear me say, Dr. Aline, I let go and let God. I will cry. I will mourn and grieve, and I will pray with all the love that I have to tell God, okay, God, I know nothing is mine. Nothing is ours. Our children are not ours. Our parents are not ours. We are all here for our own purpose, goal, and destiny. But when our loved ones, friends, and whatever and whoever is taken away from us, our pets, we need to give ourselves time to go through that mourning and grieving. And that's how I, let people know, Dr. Aline. So I'm sure you have a lot of people that you need to embrace as well. How do you handle that with your patients?
Well, one thing I want to just emphasize is right now, because things are so intense, that
Intense.
there's a tendency for people to want to numb out,
Yes.
which is it's kind of it's tricky right now because
Yeah.
I feel like 2020 is really asking us to dive deeper into spirit and to get to
Yes.
know ourselves more fully.
Yes.
I see people numbing out with food, with alcohol, with being too busy. So just so they don't can distract their mind and not have to think about things. But one of the purposes of the Healing Through Art Summit is to allow people to see themselves and process in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming, in a way that they can embrace, that you could literally get crayons out and start coloring and scribbling, that you could read a poem, that you could sing, you could sit and mindfully listen to music, instead of like having it in the background, like bringing it to the forefront. And there's so many studies where art is healing. So art heals, and allowing the music at a very calming rhythm, which is like a slower rhythm, and allowing yourself to sit with that. Instead of being busy, busy, busy doing stuff and cleaning or whatever, but to just like gently sit, even starting with like 5 minutes a day, maybe move your body and dance however you want to, so that you can get in touch with yourself. So through movement, through art, through being creative. And this is really a way to access spirit, to access your emotions, even the difficult ones that maybe you don't have words for, and to embrace it all
Yes.
in a way that is healing for you.
I
So,
think I think that's so good for people to tap into.
mhm. So not to numb out, and it's definitely a process. So to shift that mindset of there is an end that we're trying to get to, well, no, because I mean we want to enjoy the process because that's living. So
Yes.
art and creativity, it's living. And if you want to get to the end, well, then you will be going on to the next thing, right? You're going to be transitioning on. So the process is really what it's all about. And if it looks messy, it's okay because life is messy. And it's part of what creates that painting, or the picture with all the different colors, because our life is not black and white, and we need all the different colors. And if we can start to recognize more colors in our life and embrace it, then it will really feel comforting to our hearts, to our souls.
And that's so beautiful, Dr. Arlene, because colors and art. I'm doing art myself. I'm a painter myself, and clay pottery. I paint that, and I see Gail and I, my co-author. She's 20 years next to me, and we did a art class, art shop, with colors and actually drawings. It's a little bit different though, because that part was for me to see what people are drawing to explain their personality to them. So that was the coolest part, because when you have the people drawing and showing you the art, when it's put in my hands, I can actually see the barometer of their personality to where their mind status is. So it also, with the Serenity Prayer, going back to the Serenity Prayer, an artwork for me will show their past, their present, and their future. So I recognize with the perception field of clear hearing to their loved ones in heaven, I can actually see, what their thoughts and what their mindset reveals on that piece of paper. It is so relaxing for many, but for many also, they are rebellious and they have this still that morning grieving and can't let go. See, that's why I say, there is a season, there is a reason for, I call it time season. So when we face that hardship level, that is just that time that we need to find a way how to learn to let go. Art is an amazing way to let go, and everybody has that art gift in them.
Mhm.
And I know it's there. Me, I could never, that's what I thought. My children see me drawing a sun and a house. That's it. Until I found my time, until I found my quiet time. And I thought, I want to draw something what I think is beautiful. And then it went. I took the courage, again, going back to Serenity Prayer. I took the courage to draw the things that I wanted to, what I saw was pretty, like a butterfly, like a bird. And I was thinking, wow, who did that? It was me. So, you come to find out what you can do.
Mhm.
And for many people who go through this hardship, who go through all of the things that in this intense time, as you say, I totally agree. You have to want to. You have to want to sit down and draw. You have to want to sit down and see the colors. You have to want to go outside and listen to the birds and see the beauty of nature. You have to want to. When the time that it happens, people, I totally understand you.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
And but I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, art helps you access the Serenity Prayer, because the
Yes.
more you know about yourself, that is healing. And when I say art, it's in a very broad sense, because anything can be creative, from cooking to gardening,
Yes.
how you decorate your home to singing, anything. And we want to feel. This is why it's so important for me to help people stay in touch with their hearts, their souls, their
Yes.
emotions. We want to feel. It helps us maintain our humanity. And you see,
Yes.
there are so many shells of people right now. And this is how humanity has gotten into trouble, because they're just like a shell, and they've lost touch with that depth of life, that profound meaning of why we're here. And it's to experience and to know ourselves and to express ourselves in the world in a way that is loving. And there's so much, I saw a sign that says, I love you. Yeah, you may be thinking that I'm a stranger, and why would I love you? But if people can hate for no reason, then I can love for no reason. And I think that's a beautiful way to just flip it around. It's like, why not love for, no reason and every reason?
Exactly. And this beautiful way to address things to the people who are tuning in. Love will conquer all. When you have faith, your fear will disappear. And when you have so many things that you need to face, that big love that you have inside can only embrace more, but you have to let it grow. And you have to see what you are able to handle. I always say, dear Lord, if I can't get it today, then maybe tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are so overwhelmed, and I can hear the people, yeah, but, and how it works in your practice, in my world. Yeah, but Maudy, yeah, but. And so I said, no, that's what you park on the couch. Okay, so let's just turn it into what you can do for you. And
Mm-hmm.
if not today, then maybe tomorrow. You
Mm-hmm.
see, and I'm sorry, that's my cat. But
Oh,
this is the best thing that we can actually look into and give ourselves is love. Love is the key that will set us free. And I
mm-hmm.
know you have the people also in your practice, in your clinic, that are resistant to many things. Then how do you address that to them? How to get over that hump?
Right. So, it's like you said, you can't change other people, but you can show them different perspectives and help in that way. And it's again, it's a choice. So when people come to see me, they're usually choosing, they want to see their light. And maybe there might be family members that are not making that same choice, but I'm here to serve the person that's in front of me that is making that request, and allowing that for themselves, because you need that permission to really help in a deep way. I can't make anyone change their minds. I can't make them change their emotions. I can only help them see their light. And if they can do that, they do it for themselves. They heal themselves. So I'm not healing people. I'm allowing their light to shine. So I'm kind of removing obstructions so that they can see, feel, hear it, that light within them. And
Ex-
I mean, it's true. It's like only, like Martin Luther King said, it's like only light can drive out darkness. And so we need every light worker to have all hands on deck right now. we don't have any time to waste. This is like an urgent call because the momentum of the world right now is not headed in a great direction. So we need to make this collective choice. We need to make it individually for ourselves so we can see for ourselves, and then also for all of humanity, just to connect in that way.
And that's so beautiful. And in my world, and I explain to you all who are tuning in, Dr. Arlene, you called upon all the light workers, and that is so powerful because, like I said, the intense time we're facing with COVID, and now bringing her sister into, hand in hand, and that is Miss Flu. So we all have to find a way how to embrace that big love that we have again, and how to move forward with that, and with the being navigating people in my world. Just to explain to you when you're tuning in, my world is about clear hearing. I can hear your loved ones in heaven who can help you move on and move forward. And so I'm tuning in. I cannot ask them questions, but you all are able to. And I'm kind of like your 911 call. What Dr. Arlene just said, to give that light. That's what heaven and me, I refer to myself as we, because nothing comes from I. It's heaven and me shedding that light on you to which way you can go. And again, Dr. Arlene, already you said, we're not here to fix people. Not at all. We're here to present people with choices. You are in control, and we'll help you to be in control with yourself through your loved ones from heaven. They need to do earthly work from heaven to help you do heavenly work here on earth, to help you relieve your luggage, to help you move on after going through severe losses, loss of jobs, houses, fire, flooding, and whatever is there. We are here and able to get you connected to your call waiting. That is your loved ones in heaven. To recruit all of the people here, like Dr. Arlene, you said, the people who are the light workers, we need, I totally agree, all the help that we can have to help others because of the increase of the in intense time. So again, just to let you know how our gift, my gift works, is to be clear hearing. I can hear for you, and this way we can help you get into back to where we started the conversation, Dr. Arlene, with the artwork, with the things that Dr. Arlene and you all who are the light and the healthcare workers, and we pray for you all in the healthcare platform. You all are amazing, and we thank you and we pray for you to all what you do. And we just are here to help you all move on and move forward. So, Dr. Arlene, I think it's amazing in what you all do, what you do with your patient and with the people around you, and what you do right now. It's amazing. Thank you.
Uh, Yes, you're welcome. It's been a calling for a while, and and I get the confirmation just hearing all the stories. Like, I know that it's worth it, but
Yeah.
it still warms my heart to hear everyone's experiences and how it's helped them. And I think right now, this is something I'm going to talk more about next week too. But their relationships have been struggling, relationships of all kind, during 2020, because we've been cooped up. We've not distracted by the regular busyness of the everyday life, or it's a different kind of busyness. We're so much together, but not together. And so I'm going to talk more about that next week. Any comments on it?
Do you know what? That's, like I said, my the hardship levels of people is relationship, jobs and houses, and loss of loved ones, and relationships is very interesting. And I'm so glad you're going to touch on that topic, because our advice to the people who are tuning in, believe that your relationship in your own world is respect, understanding, patience, and again, courage, and exchanging thoughts. In relationship is to build people up, to build your partners up, not to break them down, not to let them know you have to do this, you don't have that, you can't do this. No, look at a different way in a relationship and give each other space, respect, understanding, love, and build each other up.
Mhm.
Don't tell people what they have to do. Just teach them how. Let them know how, which way to go. And then if the emotions are a little bit too strong, I always say, don't speak when waters are rough. Then pull back a little bit and give them time. And then when it's all calm, come back to it, and you determine when that's the right time. Relationship is actually for you all to see which way you can go with you first,
Mhm.
to embrace the partner next to you. And if there's too much luggage, you'll find a way how to undo that with yourself first and then with the person in
Mhm.
front of you. And then change that into a backpack. Yay!
And what you said, that patience and honor, trust, for each other, but for yourself first, because it's very difficult to do that in an authentic way until you do it for yourself. And this is that 2020, everything is getting dusted out from under the rug. Everything's coming to the surface. Everything's being revealed, like the Serenity Prayer. And I'm going to talk about that next week in terms of like how to, address relationships in 2020 in this time. And we'll also be supporting people with monthly art workshops and creativity. So stay tuned. I'll make an announcement later. But thank you so much, Maudy, for being here with us. And I hope everyone got a sense of how art, creativity, spirit are all kind of intertwined together, and how that can help you get more access to the Serenity Prayer, to feel it in your being, instead of just saying it. It's like you really feel it, because when you do that, it's like you can just relax your body and trust your path. Know that you are somehow taken care of, even though it doesn't always feel like it. So thank you, Maudy, for being here.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And thank you all for tuning in to Dr. Arlene and me visiting with Dr. Arlene and all of you at home. I have a little announcement to make. We have Gail and I, we have a poetry book coming out, and it is called Angel Love from Above. And you can also touch base with us on our inspirational Zoom, and it will be posted on our Maudy Fowler and Gail Hunt official page, Facebook. So welcome and join us. And then with Dr. Arlene, thank you so much for having me in your living room and having me over to visit with you. And for you all at home, touch base with Dr. Arlene. She is so powerful in giving you light and letting you understand how to move on and move forward. So I am so excited. So we pray and we let the angels lead the way. Thank you, Dr. Arlene.
Lots of love to everyone. I'll see you all very soon.